All right. Guess here we go. Jack, how you doing, buddy?
Not bad. How are you? Thanks for having me on today.
I'm doing well. Well, you don't have to thank us anymore. You're part of the podcast now, and the podcast of which we speak is Turin Giants podcast, episode number I think 326. Don't quote me on it, but you know how I be. My name is Farhad. I'm the host that loves you most, and we have a chill Monday afternoon session here, just the two of us with Jack. Jack is just returning from his trip to Italy. He'll tell us all about it. But other than that, discuss the little 0-0 action, and we'll just take it easy today. We are live on YouTube as well, so I'm sure there will be comments that we can go off of and fill in the show. We've been doing really good with YouTube. We appreciate you guys subscribing. 527 followers or subscribers so far. Please subscribe if you don't want to give our friend Frederick the heart attack, because he wakes up and gives us a count on our WhatsApp group every day. He's like, we can do it, guys. We can do 1,000 before the end of the season. So do it on our WhatsApp group every. Do it for Frederick, yeah. Alessandro Belpiero here as always. We're actually playing family game night at home, and Alessandro Belpiero found a second purpose, besides being my longest serving co-host here on the Turin Giants podcast. Jack, while we're going here with very little preparation, but that won't deter us from bringing you guys a good episode. While I look around, tell the kids about your you know what? First of all, what are we doing without an intro? Let's go.
There we go.
Buongiorno. Come ha detto lei, buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Jack. How are you?
Buongiorno.
This is a proper start to a show. Well, like I said, welcome back. Always a pleasure to chat with you. You're one of the crew that's available today, and that's okay. That's why we have, that's why there's so many of us.
Short, ridiculous story. I'm available today because when I was in Torino for the game, I broke my toe and had to go see fetus today. An F around and find out moment with my nephew.
Do tell, please. How was your trip? We got plenty of time, so tell the kids about your adventures.
I'll give the abbreviated version of the first 48 hours, because that was a trip for my brother-in-law, my nephew, and my son to the San Siro for the Milan-Roma game last week. Great time. San Siro was packed. Excellent game. I got an unbelievable sort of casual video shot of my son's reaction to Magnan saving the penalty, which was wild. He turned around and tackled me. And, one of those dads said, I'm so glad I got on video. He was psyched.
Right. No, thanks for sending that video. It's, kids following their father's steps as far as, following a team, not in this case, but following a sport is always fun. My son goes crazy as well, but the video was awesome. He got to see a Dybala miss.
He got to see Dybala miss.
Were you rooting for Dybala to score it? Honestly,
yeah, listen, my older son is 100% Juventino, and basically what we say,
the good one, right?
That wins, and everybody else has to tie. So he knows. He knew I was rooting for Dybala to score, but he was okay with it.
Is the Juve fan the one going to college? The other one is going to
That's funny. We joke
He's
around
gonna
all the time that they're in competition, that we're only sending our favorite one to college because we can't
he's
afford
gonna
them to go.
the Roma one is gonna have to learn a skill. I'm sorry.
No, he's a Milan fan. He's a Milan fan.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So how was tell us about the Turin leg? I imagine you go a lot, right? You're one of those.
I've only been a few times, and actually, this is my first trip for a game to the new stadium. I'd been to visit before. I did the grounds and the museum and the stadium tour and all that, but this is the first time at a game. So we were at the Milan Roma game on Sunday. Monday morning, I wake up to a message from the president of our club. Again, everyone out there listening, join your local Juventus club. Rafael, right. Shout out to him. He had put in with Juve that we were visiting as a group. There were, I believe, like 11 of us from the club who were going. Wow. He submitted our name. He submitted our names for an opportunity. My name got pulled along with another guy, Dominic, in our club to be flag bearers. So crazy thing though, you are not allowed to step onto the pitch with anything other than Adidas. So I had to actually run out and buy a pair of sneakers. I had to buy some new Adidas.
Are you serious? It has to be Adidas. It cannot be other.
If it's not Adidas, they put tape all over your shoe. So the guy Dominic was with his son who was coming out to watch, not to bear a flag, and they put tape all over his Nikes. They wouldn't let him out of the tunnel wearing his shoes, which was kind of funny. It was a surreal moment. The guy directing it was wonderful. Knew exactly. He's like, you're going to be out there for about 12 and a half minutes. You're waving the flag for our song. You're going to pause in between. You are then going to wave the flag. It was the most surreal moment for me, the goosebumps all over, was the Champions League anthem. Right behind the players on the other side of the pitch waving the flag for the Champions League anthem was wild. It's one of the moments I'll never forget, but have a hard time sort of like remembering, like moment by moment. I just remember being there, and it just kind of was all a blur. You walk out, walking back into the tunnel in the corner over there. I think actually under where Kevin has his seats, in front of the Curva Sud, was also pretty surreal. Like, they're loud, they were wild. Great.
Yeah, and let's talk about that atmosphere, because I know you were messaging us, and we quoted you on the podcast as well, saying, Spalletti being here kind of got some juices flowing.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. It was nice to hear the stadium live. One thing I appreciated, we were actually only 7 rows up, at about like just past the halfway line. You can hear the players a lot more, which is something I remember really enjoying during COVID, is you could hear the coaches and the players. And now it's not, not so common anymore, unless you're in like a really tiny stadium that's happened to be like you're watching a Bodo game, and it's on TV and you're catching it live. You might catch the coach or coaches saying something, but that to me was the best part, being able to hear the players. And I think I messaged you guys during the game, like, Koopmeiners in that left back position is so loud. He's like pointing and waving and trying to get Loca's attention. He's he was pushing up in the channel and like gesturing to Locatelli to drop back.
Beautiful to see.
Yeah, to Rugani or Gatti, whoever was next to him as well. It was really nice to see him sort of try to own that position with such little experience playing there.
Yeah, we were gushing all over it as well. It's so far so good, with Koopmeiners, 2 games in it. It's funny how stuff becomes normal as you're as a fan. Like, oh yeah, he did well the second game. Totally normal now. It's only been a couple of games that he played.
Yeah, I wonder. Honestly, I wonder where he fits in the 4-3-3. Right, if Spalletti does switch to a 4-3-3, does he go back to his spot in the center of the park? Or is he that? I don't think he's a left back, in a back 4. I don't see it, but
Do you think he's going to switch formations?
Yeah, I have a sinking feeling. That's his favorite formation, right? I think, what did we see him last at Napoli, 4-3-3? We saw him try the 3-5-2 with the Italian national team, but I think he was, my personal opinion, he was doing that because he has so many midfield options and not enough defensive options, right? With Calafiori was injured, etc. So I think that was a sort of a forced move, because you want to get Barella, Tonali, to get them all in the field, which I don't know if he could have with a 4-3-3.
Yeah, I understand. Good Miners, yeah. Yeah, he had a whole episode, a man of the match dedicated to him. We definitely gushed all over it. We didn't do anything post Torino 0-0. I don't remember much of it by now. I mean, it's a terrible thing to say, but 0-0 again, it was a game to win, man, especially with other results
Yeah.
uh in Italy going on. Let me bring up here.
Actually, it was nice. I'll chime in. Being in the stadium made me remember why I love Juve
Nice.
for sure. I mean,
What makes you think that? What makes you say that?
because I I feel like the past few years have been real negative.
Mhm.
Right, trying to find all of the negative things, negative choices, coaching. You know,
You think things are looking up now?
I don't know if anything's changed. To be perfectly honest with you, I know that my attitude has changed a bit. I want to be a little bit more positive. I want to try to have some faith. Just they have to get some of the right people in the right places. I think maybe they're headed in that direction. I don't know too much about what happened with the meeting on Friday. That was my travel day. I was busy with the family stuff all weekend, so I didn't really sit down and catch up on what happened with the board. I know Kamoli is around, and they Tether got their seat on the board, which is I think good
Mm.
news long run. But I don't know too many details. I don't know the profiles of all of the board members, but it's nice to hear that Chiellini is going to remain involved. We need some Juventinita in the board, but I also acknowledge we need some of those finance heads to make sure we don't find ourselves in the situation we were in. And at the same time, some sort of that sports business model mind, which I think Komoli is bringing to the table.
Yeah, we'll have more with Frederick regarding all the moves and stuff. He's our transfer / management guru. But I am UVFC.com, just looking around the website, and here it is. That's what you get when when you miss a couple of days of Juve, just doing family things. You miss a lot of stuff. So forgive me, but here's the article here. It says it can be done. Spalletti reveals Juventus could change formation after the break. On Saturday, Spalletti almost confirmed the same lineup that started against Sporting. On Tuesday, unleashing Dusan Vlahovic up top, supported by Kenan Yildiz and Conceição. However, the attacking trio wasn't able to forge a goal against Torino, with the Derby Italia ending in stalemate. After the contest, the manager opened up on his tactical choices, admitting that he's already pondering other choices, including fielding two strikers. We can also, he says, quote, we can also play with two strikers, of course. It can be done. We have Openda, who can play as a center forward or a second striker. So it can be done. Nice to see that someone is discussing, as a coach, changing of the formations. Oh, Golden 99 siding in the comments here. Time for Zhigrova to start.
Oh, 100%. 100% agree. The minutes
The kids agree too.
He came on the pitch against Sporting, and then again, I was happy to see him get, 27, 28.
A little more time.
Yesterday, versus the Sporting game. I think he got 10, 11 minutes and still made a difference. Right? I know some of that is the change of pace. Defenders are tired. Conceição's been running them into the ground for 70 minutes, so I don't want to say the credit is all his, but he's very shifty. He's very
listen, I get the hype. I understand. I love it. Everyone, Zhigrova was great against us in the one game. But did I see anything mind-blowing? Yeah, maybe a couple of, Juve even posted, I think, today or yesterday, the move where he nutmegged the opposition player. But besides that, it was, he did made some runs, a couple of shots here and there, but it's not something to go crazy over yet. I love his type of player. Someone compared him to Douglas Costa in the comments today, somewhere I was reading. But the guy with the moves and the guy that can ooh and ah the crowd. So I'm excited, but I can't say that Torino game was something extraordinary that he did something great crazy for us. But that game was not good. 0-0 nowadays is just, especially, I promised you guys to read the standings of Serie A, since Juventus had a great choice, a great chance to go up. I think at one point even the first place, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's but I think before Inter played or something like that. We could have been in the first place, but as of right now, Inter in first. Roma is head to head with Inter, 24 points. Milan in third. Napoli dropping some points. Losing to Bologna, who come in fifth, and Juventus in sixth. Guess who's seven? It is Como.
Almost right behind us. Yeah.
Como right behind us, man. You know, they have 18 points. We have 19. Yeah. Put his uniform in hot water to shrink. I don't know who Thomas is talking about here in the.
I think he's talking about Zagrova. He's wearing those basketball shorts again.
Why are they basketball shorts? Did I miss something?
It just seemed like he's wearing huge shorts.
Does that look comical? I love it. All right. Hey, I love stuff. I like little things like that. So we will keep an eye on Zagrova's shorts, which is name of my punk band as well. Zagrova's oversized shorts. There's some Conte links that I wanted to talk about, but Mr. Freddie Scoops kind of killed the enthusiasm. My guess is just we'll entertain this as some international break banter, but journalist claims Antonio Conte is now keen to rejoin Juventus. Following his poor start to the season, Napoli head coach Antonio Conte is reportedly open to joining Juventus next summer. Here we go. It's November. We're already talking about Conte. 56-year-old. Oh, wow. He's 56. He looks great. 56-year-old is one of the most decorated managers of his generation. He won 5 Scudetto titles with 3 different clubs and also clinched a Premier League trophy during his time at Chelsea. It's pretty wild that Conte has a Premier League title.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice.
It's crazier that Conte has a Premier League title or that Ranieri has a Premier League title.
Oh, Ranieri's year, man. That was incredible. That was I think that was the last year I've enjoyed like being a footy fan. It's not because of that, but you know, Juve were still good. That's why.
That was a 7th place finish that year. Is that right?
You know better than me, man. But Hoya edits in comments. He says that I would love Conte back. Listen, man, if we get to a top 4 spot with Spalletti, unless he wins the whole thing, which I don't think is going to happen, but there's always a possibility. Conte. Many people don't like that idea of Conte back, but
I'm
you?
I'm on board with that. I don't want him back. I think
you don't.
I think he burned all his bridges at Juve. I think he had his chance. The way he left us, I think, first of all, should already merit a non-return. To walk away in, what was that, the first week of July?
Oh, that was rough.
Well, I don't know what the background. That'd be a Freddie question. Like, did he walk because he wasn't going to get the transfers he wanted, or they weren't going to extend his contract? I don't remember the exact details.
He wanted 100 euros. Come on, man. Don't remember?
That's right. You can't go out to dinner on 100 euros. But listen, and how much more evidence do we need? Because Juve, regardless of where we are now, our goal should be Scudetto and go as far as possible in the Champions League every year. And the aim should be to win it, right? We should always be aiming to win every competition we're in. And Conte, everywhere he goes, just craps the bed when it comes to European competition. Every single time. It's F around and find out. Look what he did this week. Dropping points against Bologna with one lousy shot on target. They produced absolutely nothing. I was so surprised watching that game.
Well, it's the annual Conte slump. He will soon start fighting with everyone involved.
You know it's coming.
Yeah. Let's not get cute. You know it's coming. So reading on.
You like Conte? What do you think of Spalletti so far?
Spalletti so far. I mean, this was the consensus around Juve fans is we're in good hands. They may not be hands that will raise the Scudetto, but we're in good hands. We feels kind of feels we have a likable person, a leader, the guy who can work with and see eye to eye with players. So far, so good, man. We have what 2 games to judge off of, and the demeanor and the comments and atmosphere at the stadium is hopeful. Everyone is so far happy, but you never know, man. It's
I do get the sense
so
that we'll
fragile. Love for a coach is so fragile. So for now, that's what we got.
I do get the sense that he will eventually settle on a starting 11. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to play as many games, with the starting lineup as our past 3 coaches did.
Well, we deserve that. I mean, what was it about Allegri? At some point, there's people who know these little stats better than me, obviously, but was it like double-digit games of 11 or 12 games that we started with a different lineup? How can you play as a team?
Honestly, I think that number was in the 30s. I know maybe I'm making.
Was it really?
I feel like the number was.
Good question. Maybe somebody will help us in the comments here. And speaking of comments, Thomas, thank you as always for joining us. Conte burned his bridges this past summer. I think so too, to be honest. Look how fast he left us in the past and how fast he's leaving all the other teams since. He won't leave us in a better place anymore, not like in 2014. Yeah, I think, him leaving the first time is excusable, understandable. He was a young coach by then, he had other things to do, but to agree with Juve for this year and again agree with De Laurentiis to coach Napoli again, kind of last minute, left us in the. Let's not forget that it was damn near confirmed. I mean, Frederick was announcing it on the Scoop. By the way, that's our other radio show here or podcast here on Turin Giants Network. So check them out. But yeah, and then he burned us, and I think that should be it. He's just not stable, like Thomas here saying he's not a stable guy. Oh, Cola99 with ChatGPT here. ChatGPT Cola99 says Max Allegri didn't field the same starting 11 for Juventus in 112 consecutive matches across all competitions from his return in summer 2021 until September 2023. It sounds like AI BS, right?
I remember the number being huge. Not that big, but I'm not.
Cola, what the hell are you doing to us, man?
I feel like we did go that whole season when we had Angel Di Maria. Was that 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I'm drawing a blank now. When that season, I feel like every game there was like a stat that he started every game with a different starting 11. So it's entirely
you know how we love mentioning just random baller alert here. You mentioned Di Maria. It was so fun having him on. I hate that he only stayed for a year, man. But his goal against Nantes, I mean, unbelievable. Sometimes I watch him like those one of those goals that will maybe be repeated once by accident, but one of those goals that he meant it. From outside of the. Was it outside the box?
Yeah, I think so. Right outside.
A curler, first touch, just to be able to plant that right in the corner. Di Maria was a very exciting player. One of those guys that is kind of overlooked. Yeah. But he's like Ozil and the players you love to follow and watch. It was kind of nice that he stayed with us for a year, but I wish it was a little longer.
It was longer, and he was injured too a little bit. And that remember the red card against Monza for tossing an elbow? That was a good.
Did he get a red card? Oh, man. Naughty. My elbow's hurt. Don't throw an elbow. It's a freaking soccer game, man. All right, what do we have here as far as news? You feel free to jump in anytime you want, but we'll kind of go through here. What's the latest? Juventus striker, they're talking about Vlahovic could return early from international duty due to injury. What a shock.
Oh, boy.
25-year-old is one of 10 Bianconeri stars who left Turin to join their respective national teams for the last international break of the year. However, the striker's stay in the Serbian camp could be cut short if his physical struggles were to be confirmed. He complained of physical discomfort. Hey, I complain of physical discomfort every day, man. Welcome to the club. During last Tuesday's Champions League contest against Sporting, which prompted his substitution in the second half. Oh, good. as we were getting normal Vlahovic back, but sounds
really
like he'll be
putting in a great effort. His attitude on the field has been so much improved this year from even the beginning of his career with Juve. I feel like he's stepped up a bit.
definitely.
Again, transfer year, Vlahovic, right? Last year,
Yeah.
correct, trying to make himself a buck, but whatever the reason is, he's really stepped up. Even him live too, right? Different story. Loud on the pitch, demanding the ball, really trying to create space for his teammates. And I do feel like in the past couple of weeks, he's done a better job holding up the ball and distributing. So I see a little bit of improvement in his game in addition to improvement in his attitude, which has been.
I mean, you know what it is? It's a couple of things. It's a contract year, like you mentioned, and it's also people who can take your job, people who can easily take that starting 11 from you, and you have to perform. A little competition goes.
Not Jonathan David. He's done zip.
Hey, you're talking about a North American Player of the Year, man.
I know.
Come on, show some respect, our Canadian brother. But we're not yet there yet, but we are approaching a weird period where he should be getting little butterflies in his stomach. Him and Openda they better step up a little bit. We're patient, we're nice, but
I think the thing saving him now is that one goal he had to open up the season. Otherwise,
right.
A lot more heat on him. Openda, I think, gets a little more grace because he joined the team so much later. But we signed David in July, so he was there for almost all, if not all, of the preseason. Like he should be. I feel like he should be performing, or at least be a little bit more involved. Right? He had the one goal and then the one assist on the crazy Odzic goal. But that's really all he's done. He could have scored the last game, right? They tried the chip keeper, didn't work.
Yeah. No, certainly there were chances for sure, but playing for Juventus, I can't imagine it's an easy fit. David, both of them, it doesn't look like they're having fun. They have these worried looks on their faces, man. I really hope this international break is a nice way for them to relax, get Vlahovic back on track as well. With discomfort.
Yeah.
He's hurting.
He's uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable. I'm just laughing.
Yeah, discomfort. Please, my brother, tried working 13-hour shifts at a hospital, brother. Yeah. Well, what we have here in the comments, Luka Petkovic, another one of our regulars, he's asking, why can't we have the amount of patience with the coach like Arsenal has with Arteta? I actually thought about Arteta the other day when I read something saying that Arsenal are the favorites to win the Champions League. They certainly did. Yeah, they have like 24% of winning the Champions League. Don't know what that means. I don't bet, but they are on the top of the group. And
well, they're in the top 8 somewhere. I think they're undefeated in the Champions League so far.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they won every game they had, and going strong in the Premier League. I don't know. I don't care enough about Arsenal, to be honest. Every time someone says they're an Arsenal fan, I'm like, okay, there's no fun or interest in me. I'm pretty judgmental when it comes to people announcing which teams they support, and I'm like, we're in the suburbs here, and older men who support Manchester City or Chelsea. I'm like, okay, that says a lot. I'm pretty judgmental when it comes. I try not to be judgmental in my real life, which I am, but when it comes to sports and sports teams, especially with like grown men who choose like Manchester City, it's like, okay, dude, you like wearing sky blue, you like wearing your little blue shorts. Get real. We've been through this shit, man. Juventus is cheering for Juventus. You have to have some kind of. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm
You gotta wear
yeah,
pink.
look at that. Look at that Jack sporting a pink scarf here. Speaking of scarves, man, it snowed for the first time in Chicago here. So we are
Oh, did it really? Actually, it looked like it was flurrying. On the East Coast. I was watching Giants Bears yesterday, so it looked like it
uh
was snowing.
are you a Giants fan?
Yeah.
I have Jackson Dart as my starting quarterback. He brought me a victory, second victory in my fantasy football. So thank you. That's the most exciting team with the worst record. So sorry.
Mm.
Ozymandias in the comments here. Pack Dusan's bags. He was worse than David against Torino, in my opinion. What do you think, Jack? I don't.
That's
They're all pretty bad,
yeah,
but
they were all pretty bad. It depends on the context, right? I think, like I said, Dusan made some nice runs in the channels. I don't know that he played any good 1-2s off with anyone. I feel like in the past 2 games, we have no one can shoot. I can tell you the stadium was during the Sporting game, second half, Kefren and Turam like heard it from the stadium. He took like 2 shots within the span of 2 or 3 minutes, skied them both so high.
Sure did.
He was getting whistles, and then it would look like he was going to wind up again in like the 80th minute, and there were fans like whistling, like not wanting him to shoot. Everything yesterday was right at the keeper. I could see. Listen, I think perspective is always warranted. Everyone's going to have a different one on players, on actions in a game, on coaches, and that's what makes the sport so beautiful, right? They thought they were fixing something with VAR, but the controversies still remain. The debates at the bar still remain. You still drink a beer with your buddies and say, was that a penalty? Was that not a penalty? Regardless of what VAR says. So, as someone to say David was better, I could see there were parts of his game that were positive. Again, I'm trying to stay positive, right? I'm trying to give Dusan his props. He's playing well.
I just feel like there's just one player that's going to explode and maybe bring the morale up a little bit. We were talking about we brought up Danilo. He wasn't the greatest player, but he got people fired up. He was there with the yelling, and a vocal leader on the field is so important. But I'm not just talking about a vocal leader. I'm talking about someone. Maybe Zagrova will be that guy, man. Maybe he will be the spark. They'll get others going, and we certainly saw him play way more time.
For the longest time that was going to be Gatti. It's got that dog in him a bit. He seems loud. When he's on the
loud but slow. Am I right? Watching him can be a little painful. I got to be honest. If you guys with the next game you watch, just focus on Gatti. I hate when players walk, and he walks a lot.
He walks a lot.
Sometimes just decides to just walk towards the ball.
My issue with him is like he'll play well 85% of the game, 90% of the game, but that other 10 to 15% aren't just like casual run of the mill mistakes, poor touch. Mm-hmm. They're bad. He's completely out of position. The ball goes directly to the other team. He completely miffs a tackle and gets carded. It's just not. It's not great.
Yeah, it's a shame because we have such high standards for Juventus defenders, and that's some people say he's got that Juve grinta in him, but does he? People can be loud, but if you're not producing, if you're not adhering to those standards yourself, you're just yelling.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of merge the sort of 2 topics we were just touching on. I mean, with perspective and then also goalkeepers. I mean, we were spoiled, right, to have Buffon so long and Peruzzi before him. You go back as far as Zoff, right? And I know Digra is not Fred's favorite goalkeeper, right?
No, he's not.
I feel like it's so hard as Juventus fans to judge a goalkeeper because of what we had. Nothing will ever even come close to that bar, right? So everything always seems inferior, even when we have someone who's serviceable. I don't think Di Gregorio is a world-class keeper by any means, but he's a serviceable keeper. Are there others out there that we could try to find that would do a better job? Possibly. But that comparison's never going to escape him. That comparison will never escape any player who puts on the gloves for Juventus forever.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And speaking of shoes you can't fill, yesterday was Alessandro Del Piero's birthday. Congratulations. Del Piero is celebrating his namesake. Almost.
Almost named.
Your favorite Del Piero memory. We do have to bring up the GOAT, the El Capitano.
Capitano. It's
Sorry to put you on the spot like that here, but
I've loved the guy since he laced up boots. Watching him and Baggio play, I was at a game in '93.
Oh wow!
Yeah, at the old Delle Alpi, and they were something else to see in person. Baggio was something.
That's awesome.
But it's not a Juve memory. It's I was there when he scored in the semifinal in Berlin, in Dortmund.
Oh no,
so,
that's amazing.
To me, that first of all, him missing in the semifinal or in the final against France in 2000, and then scoring the almost identical goal from the other side of the box, must have been vindicating for him. And then
did you say? Hold on. But I'm still processing the fact that Andiamo Berlino. You were there. Actually,
I don't know. I was in Germany. I wasn't at that game.
I see.
We won tickets in the lottery to the other semifinal, the France-Portugal semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
And Italy played July 4th. The other semifinal was July 5th. So when Italy was playing, we were actually at Sea House, I think it's called, a beer garden in Munich, because that's where the game was. But then when Italy won, we went and sold our tickets so we could buy train tickets to go to Berlin to see if we could get into the final. But anyway, it was just
did you?
The point was just to see him run the length of the field at 119 minutes into the game was just something.
Yeah.
Credit to him as a human, as an athlete, as a player. That was that's Del Piero passion on full display right there, if you ask me. What about you?
Shout outs to the GOAT. Well, it's fun you brought up that game. Every once in a while on our Instagram account, Turin Giants on Instagram, we something goes viral, and I posted a video shot very professionally from the sideline. It's like almost a movie of that goal. It's beautifully shot. So I mean, it goes viral with like 1 million views or something like that. And what people are noticing, the amazing pass from Gilardino. If you go and watch that goal, which pretty sure every Juve fan has it memorized. Gilardino, little flick to Del Piero. He didn't give it away one bit. He was so good with it. He just kind of had eyes in the back of his neck. Del Piero runs behind him. A little flick to Del Piero. Del Piero with the first touch as well. Zona Del Piero. It doesn't get any better than that. Yeah. It will always be bittersweet for me because I think I was watching in record and like just happened. The first goal happened from Grosso, and then I just happened to talk to my dad who was like 5 minutes ahead of me, who spoiled that goal for me.
Oh no!
I never got. When he did that run, I knew it was a goal, and it was the worst. My dad and I have really strict rules about spoiling games for each other, and I've taught everyone in my family. It's a little more difficult to escape a score now if you're trying to come home and not have it spoiled. But back then it was like, what are you doing? But I was happy anyway. But that will always associate. Say it again.
Is Dad a Juve fan?
No. We have the same situation as he's a United supporter, and I never loved United, never. And he also didn't really work hard on, converting me into a fan of his team. Yeah, I put in an effort with my son. There's strict rules. There's missed meals if you even think about not supporting Juventus. But he kind of followed Ronaldo to Real Madrid. He just loved him at Real, and then he watched Juve when Ronaldo was on Juve. He was a lot of the games he wasn't happy. It was not his cup of tea. He much preferred Ronaldo at Real Madrid. But going back to Del Piero, I mean, favorite memories, just knowing he will step up as a captain. producing in every decade he played up until the last season. People forget that he scored that goal, that free kick against Lazio. That was so important for us. Scored in his last game ever for Juventus.
You knew he was scoring in that Atalanta game. There's no way.
Yeah, for sure. Atalanta were almost obligated to give it to us.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how far we've come? Atalanta of when Del Piero scored against them, comparing to Atalanta of now. Atalanta used to be a joke. Before 2000. What would you say? 18, 17?
Like that. I mean, when they hired Gasperini in 2015 or 2016, somewhere around
15,
there.
yeah. So yep. But that goal, that last goal, but Del Piero, man, what can be said? Favorite player, reason a lot of us follow Juventus. Mm-hmm. The older generation, they say they follow Juventus because of Baggio. A lot of them. A lot of people say, Jack is raising his hand. That's his guy. It's a shame I never got to see Baggio.
Yeah, he was.
Got to see him in the World Cup, but that was my first World Cup. I didn't really appreciate the game. I mean, I was like 94 was like my 9 years old. He did play in 98, right?
He played 3 of them, 90, 94, 98. I don't remember if he played in 86. I was living overseas, and it wasn't really televised where I was living, so I didn't see much of the 86 World Cup.
But people say about Baggio, it's like you wouldn't believe that man was human, just criminally underrated. He's the definition of underrated. I know the word gets thrown around, but Baggio,
I believe without all of the injuries, he would have been on the level of Pele and Maradona, Zidane, and Messi. I mean, there's the videos of him with his knee, like at halftime. He's like moving bones around in his knee and his kneecap. Mm-hmm. And he goes back out.
Yeah, the kneecap was just freely moving around.
Yeah.
That's another number 10. Speaking of Juventus traditions that are hard to. I mean, number 10s at Juve. Let's talk about Yildiz. Let me do a little. Talks amongst each other. Nothing on Yildiz, but they're working hard on his contract extension, I guess. Pay the man. Is the reason a lot of Juve fans tune in. Fans on the fringe of fandom. He's the draw now. It's as a sports fan, it's always important to have that person that when you go to the stadium, Jack, you went to the stadium. Who were you looking at and expecting a great performance out of? Current Juve, it's Yildiz, right?
In the first half, it was definitely Conceição, right? Because of where we were sitting, that's all the action that was happening in front of me. And in the second half, it was all Coop Miners, right? Again, the action happening right in front of me. But when I think you've said this before on previous pods, like when Yildiz has the ball, you kind of like scoot forward in your seat. Right?
You hold your breath. You hold your breath for sure.
Split two defenders. He's going to find a pass. I do think some coaches have figured him out a bit. I mean, yesterday he was getting like triple teamed.
You keep saying yesterday, but I think you're still on European time. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah, maybe.
Doesn't matter, but I just want to clarify it.
My apologies.
No, you're good.
He was triple teamed at some points in that first half. I think coaches they're coaching him out of the game right now, and someone else has to step up. We've got to see.
For sure. I think Sporting did a similar thing as well. Even two people is not enough to contain him. You're so right. They're putting 3 people on him now.
I do think when he's isolated, though, it is easier for the opposing team to kind of pin him. Right. I would love if we do the 4-3-3. I'd love to see him in behind like Openda and another striker. Or 2 strikers if we play a 2-striker system. I'd hate to see a 4-3-3 with him still isolated out in the channel on the wing with a single striker high. I don't know. I think that he needs some more flexibility in his game to kind of confuse defenders or someone who will switch with him. I think that's also a possibility.
I have a comment here. Speaking of the Torino game, Ozymandias is asking, also, what's up with Adzic taking that last corner and arguing with Jagrova? He lost my respect there. Yeah, let's not gloss over that. That was not a pleasant incident. Jagrova comes up to kick last corner and
Mhm.
Adzic kind of steals it from him. They start gesturing and arguing. I feel like Jagrova is, I think, a little older. Am I wrong? Am I correct? He's a little older.
Yeah. I think so.
I think he should just go into the box and discuss that later. He
Mhm.
ended up standing by the ball, or maybe made a little run, but he was useless. And Adzic was with a terrible corner to follow.
Yeah.
but at least he made a difference, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there was that camera angle from the corner there, which was interesting. I thought Adzic was coming over to take a short corner, like take the ball. I didn't
Mhm.
realize he just wanted to go and take the corner at first. It was a bad look. I'm sure it was a bad look in person. It was a bad
Oh, the cameraman was right in their faces.
right in their face. Yeah. was
Yeah,
bad.
don't do that. Let's go a couple comments here. Luca is telling us how he, as a younger fan, he followed Juve and Milan, but because of Del Piero and Maldini, became solo Juve because controversial. Yeah, Bonucci, and after my man Mandzukic.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a little project here on Instagram. I want to. I've been working on collecting all the cords and cameras and stuff like that to give you a little limited series on Instagram. 25 best 25 players Juventus signed after 2000. So 25 years from now, I know it's going to be maybe I should do best 26 players Juventus signed. And the funny part about it is I have to put in a script that signed after year 2000, because there's going to be people who will write to me, what about Del Piero? What about Zidane? What about... I just have to write everywhere possible and note that this is players signed after year 2000.
There you go.
January 1st, 2000. So don't expect any Del Pieros on there, but I think the list is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
going best signings, or you're doing like hot signings and flop signings?
No, best players signed after year 2000. Mandzukic script is ready. I feel self-conscious, man. I know this is, the generation of people putting everything on their social media, but I'm just like, kind of like, oh man, I hate putting my face out there, myself out there, even though I've been doing this podcast for like 13 years, but it's been mostly audio. So now that times have changed, man, you have to put your face out there. And yeah, hopefully soon I'll bring a little short clip about Mandzukic, who I love him so much. I love Mandzukic. I was fortunate enough to be not right, but on the line, very far. I had nosebleed seats, but Champions League final, I saw Mandzukic do the overhead kick, and there's one thing I always say: that ball felt like it was in the air for 10 minutes. It went from what is he doing to no way to actually, when you saw the net rattle, it was unbelievable feeling. It was a beautiful goal.
That was it Bonucci to Alexandro to Higuain to Mandzukic, right? And the ball never touched the ground.
One of the most beautiful goals that's overlooked, because don't remind me of that night.
Champions League final.
Say it again.
And to do that in the Champions League final is wild.
Yeah, and speaking of Del Piero, I mean, Del Piero scored a little what do you call it? A heel goal in the Champions League final as well. So Juve are known for beautiful goals in Champions League finals.
Just not known for winning enough of them.
I mean, it's about... Don't you think it's about time we freaking won the thing? I mean, 96 is getting kind of pathetic to mention 1990s, the last time we won. We're
hitting 30 years, long time.
Man, yeah, being in the final is good and all, but god damn it, it's time to win it. We had fun in Cardiff, though. It was the height of Juve Twitter, Maurizio ruling the planet with around Turin, and there was so many people we met. I still have a photo with all the big Twitterers and YouTubers and all that stuff outside of a bar in Cardiff, which was a hell of a night, man. Next time you go into the final, it'll be epic.
Next time, I didn't go.
Say it again.
I would definitely go. That's like, when you get like a hall pass with your wife. My hall pass is only to go to the Champions League final. If you make it, you can't argue with me.
We have plans with Ralph to to go crazy, and there's plans there to. All right, what do we have here? Cola 99 again. Adzic is also 6'1" and should be in the box. LOL. Zhigrov is 5'7" and had a great left foot in swinger for the corner. I know Adzic acted like a little brat there. Not a good look. Zhigrova.
That I gotta say though, that is the kind of nonsense that I guarantee Spalletti probably puts his thumb on right away. I bet he didn't
I
leave
hope
this
so.
meeting without saying something to him about. I can't imagine a coach like Spalletti just lets that go.
Yeah, and it's a very critical time in the game. You know, to disrupt a game like that. Adzic coming over, he's to blame in my opinion. But you know, we'll see what happens in the future. I mean, the poor guy gets so little playtime. Maybe he just really wanted to be part of the game.
Sure.
I mean, they give him barely any opportunity to play.
Mean, in a 4-3-3 though, I could see him playing in a midfield 3 for sure.
I hope so. I mean, it is definitely time for younger players to shine and step up, and let's see who does their thing, man. It's really exciting times coming up.
Who really starts to shine in Spalletti's eyes, right? Every coach, again, has their own perspective and their own playing style. It'll be interesting to see who rises to the top of his starting 11.
I mean, we won't understand who his favorites are until maybe a couple of weeks from now. But there will be people who he favors, and I'm looking forward to see who steps up. It's, as I always say, man, when a team is in bad state and you kind of have an idea that we'll be back at some point. Right now is a very interesting time being a fan, finding these little glimpses of hope, see see who's going to be our guy, and enjoying the little victories, right? All right, shout out to Sky as always in our comments. All of our players that we got this summer ain't good for Juventus. We have a front line that doesn't score goals. They sure don't, do they?
Not a problem.
Lloyd Kelly and Juan Cabal to rejoin Juventus training, according to La Gazzetta dello Sport via Tutto Juve. Man, there's a lot of connections there. Spalletti handed the players who remained in Turin 3 extra days of rest to recharge their batteries before resuming training on Thursday. Once the squad reconvenes, Pink newspaper expects Kelly and Cabal to be part of the squad. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's really important.
Well, if we go 4 in the back, we'll need them both. So we need
sure.
we need a healthy back line. We haven't really had one in a while. It's really important to get them healthy. I hope they're taking some time to rehab. That's what they need.
As for Cabal, he managed to overcome a long layoff due to an ACL injury he suffered a year ago. He made a glorious return to action by scoring an equalizer against Atalanta off the bench, only to pick up a fresh injury a few days later against Villarreal. Yeah, injuries continue to be a problem. Let's just mention a couple of games that are coming up, and I think we'll be done. I didn't want to leave you guys without a chill little episode, and then we'll resume our full squad here in a couple of days. We'll be back. Bagelman.
Players that just left for international break, 10. Be nice if
10 players
had a squad to work with, but I guess not.
Yeah, but if he's a good coach, he'll find use of whoever he has. I bet he's happy. I mean, 10 days or so on his own, get his thoughts back together. Sky is saying that I think we need to bring in some experienced players. I completely agree. I mean, so we mentioned on the podcast that Locatelli is like the guy on the team right now, and it's just he's just not that guy to me. I love Locatelli and everything, but having seasoned vets on the team is really important. I feel like, let's be real.
I think he gets a ton of unnecessary hate, undeserved hate. Unfortunately,
Loca for sure.
Yeah. I don't
People on our podcast.
Yeah. I don't rate him world class, but when he has the ball at his feet, he makes a lot of high risk, high reward plays, right?
Mhm.
And when it doesn't work out for him, I think he was this past weekend. He was 6 for 10 with long balls, right? Yeah, 60% sounds horrible, but there was a moment in the second half somewhere I had made a note, some 50th, 60th minute, where he attempted a really difficult pass, like over the top to drop in, the attacking third, and it failed. Defender got it, punted it back upfield. It went right back to him. Instead of him turning and playing the easy ball, he sidestepped whoever was in front of him and tried to make a similar pass, and it was successful the second time. I think we need that kind of player. I think he does look for that forward progressive pass. Certainly more than Coop Miners. And McKinney has been, in my mind, relatively useless this season.
Yeah.
I do hear that Spalletti is high on him. I'd love to see him revived a bit, but I don't have all that hate for Luka. I think he's a very serviceable player. I do think should be a starter on our team. He's definitely not a bench player because I don't see someone starting ahead of him. But
I agree.
I don't know.
Plus,
He has a very big testicle.
I don't know.
damn it, Jack! Are you gonna step all over my joke?
Oh, sorry.
Plus,
He has a very big testicles.
There you go.
come on, man! Zach is not here, man. I gotta play all the sound effects I possibly can. Speaking of Zach,
Here we go.
H-Town.
I gotta tell Zach, he's got to write a book. All his tactical noir, right? He's working on his coaching licenses. I have the same too, but he's definitely
Zach is.
Yeah, that's what he said it once on a pod. I think that he's getting his licenses.
I sure hope so, man.
Way about explaining his perspective and position that I think is very unique and definitely helps the listeners for sure.
Oh, Zach is a gem, for someone like me who's looking for co-host, and Zach just appears out of the blue with his beautiful radio voice, and he's so serious too, man. People, well, behind the scenes here, Zach, he admits, I'm straight man. I don't want any nonsense. I come in, I talk about statistics, but I give you all I got. But we've learned to love Zach. He's a serious guy, but he's definitely an awesome part of the podcast with all the nonsense that we're into. To have actually serious person on the podcast, I love it. Shout outs to Zach. Shout outs to Kevin and Frederick. Everyone's on a vacation. Jack is picking up some slack. All right, let's get back to the comments here. We're almost done, kids. We are 57 minutes in, but let's see who has the biggest testicles on the team. I don't know, but we've seen Chiellini in the locker room, if you know what I mean. It's a family show, but if you're interested, go Google that. Sky continues about Vlahovic puts in a lot of effort in the game, and I appreciate that about him, but his main job is to score goals, and he doesn't know how to score. I mean, technically, he just scored. He hasn't scored an open goal in the league since February. In the league, I agree, but he brought us a nice goal in the Champions League. How did you like that? How'd you like following that goal? Were you close to it?
Yeah, we weren't far from it.
Nice.
And that's the celebration or the sort of like that choral call and repeat of the player's name when they score. That's what my kids and I do when they score at home.
Really?
I'm the stadium. They come in with the last name, so we were doing it in the stadium with everybody.
I love that. I love that.
Be there live.
Shout outs to you being an awesome dad, man. I love that. Taking your kids to Juventus Stadium.
Yeah. We're trying to make it a yearly thing now.
Oh, I love it.
Not age wise, right? My kids are 9 and 10, he just turned 11, 9 and 11. So they're in a sweet spot now where traveling is a lot easier. Like
definitely
pack quick, in and out of Italy, 2 games. It's fun.
Definitely. Yeah, you gotta if you're doing Italy, if you're doing Juventus, there's art to it. You have to take in the Sunday game or Saturday game, and you have to be there for the Champions League, or you arrive on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. watch the Champions League game, and then see. Don't just watch one game if you have an opportunity. See two of them.
It's not worth it for just one game. You got
For sure.
Champions League home game, which the rest of my fan club did Sporting and then the Torino game. Just didn't fit our schedule, but that would have been the ideal, right? 2 home games back.
For sure. Yeah, you mentioned. I forgot what you mentioned.
But
Never mind.
Yeah, no. The fan club is, they've been great. They had a nice little trip planned. I wish we could have done the whole thing with them. One thing you got to do, Farhad, though, before we wrap here, we do have a couple good comments. You got to tell our friends where they can get one of those sweatshirts because I need one as well.
Oh, did someone mention my I have a box of them, man. I have a whole box, and this is my pride and joy. So thank you, thank you, Jack. TurinGiants.com. It's called the OG Turin Giants hoodie. Look at the back, man. If you're watching this, let me maximize myself. Oops.
Let's go. Let's see that. I don't think I ever saw the back. I love that. So if you're on the audio platform only, it's got 1897 founding year on the back of the jersey.
And the skull designed by Whiskey. I don't know if you guys follow.
No.
One of my favorite graphic design. He's not as active anymore, but he was the first guy to sell us the designs and the Marchisio as a child, a very first release of Turin Giants. The one that Marchisio saw online, his manager speaking of Colo 99 texted me. He's like, I'm pretty sure Marchisio wants those shirts. Boom, send him a quick package. Took 400 years to get there, but we did it. So shout outs to Whiskey, shout outs to Colo. And I love having that connection with Marchisio, who follows us on Instagram. Thanks for mentioning TurinGiants.com. This hoodie, and it's amazing. I've been wearing it for several years now. It's just inside and it's warm, and hoodie weather is coming, boys and girls. So I mean,
hoodie weather's here. You said you got snow.
I know, man.
We got Josh in the chat mentioned Miretti here. What do you think of
Miretti? It was nice to see, man.
Yeah,
not bad. I mean, the fact that Spalletti kind of pointed him out, and he talked about him in an interview, and then next thing you see, you're seeing Miretti right there on the field. I was like, oh my God, it's been a while. But yeah, definitely good rotation player.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly has something in him. We'll see. I'm excited. I was excited. It was definitely not a terrible performance.
Yeah.
But I mean, Spalletti has slim pickings right now, man. Any useful guy, any useful player that can.
I'm curious to see who he's gonna kind of launch. That's my big question marks now. Because there's always someone, right, with a coach, right? I thought for Tudor, it was going to be Adzic after that Inter game.
Mm-hmm.
He had played him twice, scored a goal. The celebration for me, I thought, was for that specific goal where he looks at Tudor and like points to his head and goes like that. It was definitely like, I wonder what he said to him before he subbed on, and he was almost like giving him credit for an idea or a tactical move he had.
But I love that goal. Don't get me wrong, but I always think about how that goal maybe saved and prolonged Tudor's tenure at Juve. I mean, it would have been that was one thing he had to hold on to. Otherwise, it was not good for Tudor for the rest of his tenure, and that's a shame. All right, well, Sky here. Sky is very active. We have one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but we don't appreciate him enough. The save was great. Let's mention the save. Lower corner is always super difficult to defend, especially having it bounce kind of away from the goal, not going into the goal. That was a great save.
You want from your keeper, right? You want your keeper to get you points. He got us a point right there.
Yeah, for sure.
We weren't coming back 1-0 down with 11 minutes left. Not with the way we were playing. 8 minutes left. I forgot exactly when it was. We weren't coming back. So that was Di Gregorio getting us a point.
Yeah.
At least in my book.
Shout out to Di Gregorio. Freddie Scoops is not here to poo-poo on our parade, but
again, Being positive, right? Trying to stay positive.
Well,
New Jack for a new year, a new season.
New Jack, New Year. Well, here's something to keep Mr. De Gregorio
Sometimes
humble.
maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
That goes for the whole team, though.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We'll finish up with Juventus schedule for the upcoming month or so. Fiorentina Juventus away in Florence, November 22nd, followed by November 25th clash against Bodo Glimt.
That's away. That's going to be a rough one. That stadium's rough. That turf. I wonder what the weather's going to be. Maybe they're playing in snow already.
No, I bet it's going to be nice and tropical there. That's the what Zach calls it, the Arctic Circle game, and then Cagliari at home, November 29th. Listen, man, if I'm Spalletti, I want all of those as wins. I'm sorry, you cannot afford.
It's all 9 points because I think the week after that, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's in front of you, is Napoli.
Napoli,
right?
Napoli is actually December 7th. Before that, I didn't want to go into December, but whatever. Juventus Udinese, that's Coppa Italia, December 2nd, a day before my birthday. December 7th is Napoli. Well, actually, out of all 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say the next one is Paphos at home. Out of those games, man, I mean, Napoli Juventus is the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
We have kind of a decent schedule, but again, we're Juventus. We may not.
In my mind, every Champions League game is a freaking final now. You need 12 points from 12, or we're not going anywhere. Maybe you get 9 and you get lucky. 3 wins. We need 12 points.
Yeah, even Napoli. I mean, depends on what kind of mood Conte will be by then. That's a doable game as well. We're playing at what do they call it? Stadio Diego Maradona. Yeah,
on the road.
On the road again. Mitch is joining us way late. We're about to sign off, boys and girls.
Hey, Mitch.
Yeah, sorry guys. We do have to go. We'll be back. We'll be back with the entire crew. Jack, thanks for all the support. Thanks for the stories.
Good chat.
Actually, I'll be on Uncle Bepe's podcast, on our podcast together, Juve Talk, every Thursday. You can watch live 10 p.m. European time on Giuseppe's at Just Juve's channel, and then an audio version of that comes out later. Those have been really popular. You know, if I'm on the podcast, there's going to be some shenanigans. So tune in on Thursday. It's going to be fun. I finally have a day off so there will probably be a quiz or some kind of a game. So don't miss those. Those are always super fun. Thanks, everyone. All right.
Join your local Juve fan club, everyone.
That's right. Stay hydrated, check on your friends, and Forza Juve.
Si mangia il giorno di Ferragosto?
La salsiccia piccante, quella dolce, il provolone, le olive, come verdure a finocchi, segano, ciò che uno desidera.
E di primo?
Di primo i cavalli della frutta, la parmigiana, che è ancora più meglio della pasta. Ci stanno tante cose.
E il secondo?
Il secondo, la brace accesa,
This is a lot longer than I
salsiccia arrosto.
All right, lady. All right. Thanks, boys and girls. Love you.